and here's the countdown.
Welcome to the show. Oh yeah, well you just
sorry, go on.
If you're gonna ask me to do the intro, you can't step on it the moment I open my mouth. Anyway, thanks guys. Welcome to the show. Today we have Thomas Horner, and he is in a lot of projects. So I'm gonna shoot to him, and you're gonna rattle them all off because I don't want to be embarrassed by forgetting one.
Well, I can't even remember them all, so your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, I do play in Vulgarian and Post Nihilist and Potion Seller and and the Negative and Ice Axe. Those are the big five. I won't continue. I won't continue from there. And I missed the last one because I decided to take a shower before the podcast, and my shower door exploded, and I stepped in a bunch of broken glass, and I crawled naked out of the shower and bled all over the kitchen, and missed the podcast. These things happen.
That was a pretty horrific scene from the pictures. Did you get any stitches or anything?
No, and I haven't taken a shower in 3 weeks, so just to be sure I'd be ready for this. So.
Oh yeah. Well, and I imagine it's hard now. I could see. Well, you couldn't really tell if you're sweating, getting cold sweats in the shower, but I imagine it's pretty intense every time you got to turn that water, and you just imagine exploding glass flying through the air.
It really changed my experience. That's for sure.
Traumatic. I can imagine.
Well, yeah. I mean, in this hard world out here, it's just you gotta just power through, man. So I hope next time, and then when we do another one of these in like 6 months, I hope that you have at least taken one shower.
Yeah. Well, the problem is I still have two more shower doors that are still intact.
Oh, shit.
So lots of opportunities.
All right.
That's why I go with the old shower curtain. I don't rent houses that have shower doors. It terrifies me. That's like a fucking deal breaker, especially after this incident.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just have a revolving shower door. I mean, it was expensive, and it takes up half of my living room.
So last episode, it was mostly just us kind of, getting into the swing of things. And we talked a bit about music and movies, which is what we'll mostly be talking about on this podcast. Just like, media and pop culture shit. We talked briefly about the Nick Cage film Grand Isle, which is probably my favorite newer Nick Cage film, along with this other movie called Mom and Dad. And the agreement was Cannon was going to watch this so we could talk about it then tonight, and he failed to do that, which is okay. But I also failed to listen to the what's the fucking album again?
Betrayal of Guilt.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So we're even.
Yeah, we failed upwards, so
we did, yeah. I was gonna have my buddy Jameson on tonight. It might not happen until an episode or two down the line. He's a big movie guy, and so I've got a bunch of movies I want to talk about tonight. But that's pretty much all that I have going for me for this episode. But let's start out with what we normally do, which is just talking about music and like new albums we've heard and all that stuff. What have you guys heard in the past couple weeks or a couple months that you're super into new stuff or old stuff, whatever.
Just a lot of Bootsy Collins.
A lot of Bootsy Collins. Word. Yeah, that's always that's always excellent.
If you get a chance, if you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. It's the first one that comes up. It's I'd Rather Be With You live, and it's pretty. I mean, it's top quality shit, dude. Like you really feel like Bootsy might actually fuck you through the screen. Like cool. he gives off some real big like making love to the crowd vibes because he talks about it.
Yeah, I think you mentioned Bootsy Collins last time, and
we
were talking about Howard, but I'm almost positive, and because I'm a fan too. So
nice.
Yeah.
Thomas,
you a Bootsy fan?
Haven't listened.
Oh,
see, this is some Gen Z, or wait, no, I guess this is some millennial bullshit.
It's incredible.
I don't know what fucking I don't know what Gen Z is. What's the cutoff for Gen Z versus millennial? How old do you have to
94, 95?
All right.
Years old? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. It makes no sense.
I'm 100.
Yeah. Luckily, as all of us octogenarians, centurions, triple digit folk.
Yeah. I don't get all the generation shit.
I mean, I am waiting till we're like 50 and they're still like these millennials. They, know, they're still consuming media that I disagree with, and this is the future generation.
So there's a new generation, right? It's alpha, right? It's the babies right now, the kids, like the super young kids.
We're calling them alpha coming out of the gate. That's not a good idea, dude. You can't just give somebody the name. No, that's bad. That's a bad generational plan. That is fucking no. That's like saying, like, I don't know. It's happened a few times where you're like, you're the chosen race, and like doesn't always go well for anybody involved.
Imagine being generation beta.
Yeah. I mean, we did have the greatest generation already, so the bar's kind of high already.
True.
So
I feel like they named themselves that like mid-generation. You know what? We fucking rule.
We're feeling pretty good about ourselves.
Yeah, the Great Depression. I mean, it sucked, but we did it. Like, it's just like boomers are the only ones that got what they deserved, which is this stupid fucking nonsense. Like baby boomers, that's just a bummer. It just sound like a child. Your whole generation just sounds like parents who are talking about kids they didn't want to have.
Oh, sure. Yeah. There's a lot of boomer hate these days, I've noticed. But there are some good ones out there.
Yep.
My father is a pretty cool guy. So that's one. That's a bit. I mean, yeah. For the most part,
millions, dude.
I do get it. They are a pretty awful fucking generation.
Well, their politics. I mean, like you're talking like, what I mean? That's for me. That's what it is. It's like the politics started just being outwardly nonsense. Like at least there was some sort of attempt to be like civil, and then Reagan sucks like so hard on so many fucking levels.
Oh yeah.
Like there's punk bands that just have his name in them. That's how bad he sucked. The punk bands were like, we need to have the Reagan, like Reagan has to be in the band name so they know.
Reagan Youth. That's a classic band. Yeah. Anyway, this is an apolitical podcast, bud. So
shit, yeah, that's right.
This is no politics allowed. I'm gonna have to hang up a sign behind me. This is a politics-free zone.
That was a punk rock rant.
I'm just kidding. So anyway,
I'll sell it any way you want. No, apolitical podcast.
So yeah, Bootsy Collins, awesome shit. For me, it's the same nonsense that I'm listening to, or I've been listening to for the past 20 years. Is just just mostly just Dark Throne, and that's it. We were talking about last episode about how, or I was saying how difficult it is for me to get into new music because, you know, I know what I like, and I'm so overwhelmed now. Going online, it's like there's fucking, you know, everybody and their fucking dog has a band now, and it's all online, and I have to sift through a lot to find something that I'm really into. And if I go back and listen to, you know, all the music that I know that I love, it's like I know that's good, and that's just it's just so much easier for me to just go back to what I know is good, rather than like sift through new things and get into something new, which is not a very healthy attitude. But that's just the way that I am a lot of the time, and it sucks. I have to like force myself to. I just got Spotify for the first time like a month and a half ago, and it's blown my mind. Like, Spotify sucks for the artists, I know. And so I don't advocate using Spotify. It's bad. It's bad service. That being said, it's seriously blown my mind how easy it is to like find new things through that program that, you know, are that are similar to what I've been listening to. Like I'll make a playlist and it's like it has like recommendations. That's new to me. I'm so like behind the times. It's
really. I was in the 8th grade when I signed up for Pandora when it started, and they were calling it. They were like, "We're mapping the genome of musical genome," and then and now it's just like a thing that comes on your phone. It's weird.
I'm still buying fucking hard copies of things, man, and like I'm
you have a hard copy of Spotify.
I'm very new to the whole streaming thing, aside from like YouTube. You know, that's yeah. So
I literally watch Video Game Donkey, and that's it. I don't really have any other like streams that I'm into.
Sure.
I do just randomly search for shit like, I wonder if this exists. It's 2021. We live in the future.
Yeah.
Like,
what I've been on lately is the band Lord Weird Slawfeg has been doing a podcast during quarantine. Why can't I say that word? During corn times. And since they can't play any shows, and you know, it's just been the guitarist and bassist getting together and basically just spinning vinyls of bands that they like. So, you know, it's generally not new stuff, although they do like at least a lot of local bands in their area, the Bay Area. But that's been exciting because they've done a good like 22 episodes now, and even for bands that, you know, that they sometimes play, they're playing like vinyls that, you know, are kind of hard to find and haven't been ripped online and things like that. So I've heard a lot of really cool tracks, and like, you know, if you're into the band, you know, the band sounds like they do because of the taste they have, and generally if you like the band, you're probably going to like their tastes. So it's been a pretty fun way to discover, you know, a lot of overlooked gems from the past 20 or 30 years or so.
Nice.
That's fucking awesome. I'm gonna have to peep that. I love Slawfeg. I actually realized I didn't realize that was your name.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that's a good album. I think that might be the last album that I've heard from them, which was like, I think that was like early or like mid 2000s or something. But yeah, that's a badass group. I think I've got I've got Traveler, and then the self-titled one, which is like their first one, I think. So
I have no idea what we're talking about band wise. What kind of music is it? Just so I can.
It's like pretty traditional heavy metal from the Bay Area.
Nice.
Like charismatic, a lot of Thin Lizzy twin guitars, you know, and kind of nerdy.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah, you would like them.
Actually, I shouldn't even talk about it because I haven't talked to the band about it. We got asked to play like a Comic-Con thing in October.
Comic-Con, what?
Or it's like the Supercon, but it's sounds like it's gonna be pretty cool.
Nice. So,
but I don't know if we're gonna do it. I'm not sure. I shouldn't even.
Why did you guys get approached? Just because you're a bunch of fucking nerds?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. They're having like they're having a D&D like a bunch of D&D shit that's involved with the after show and some drag show stuff. So they're like, yeah, this is, who do we know that would be all about a drag show and fucking D&D stuff? It's like, yeah, well,
That's
the
awesome.
whole wizard trope does help.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, and the fact that Rachel our bassist and my wife and Keaton our guitarist both love RuPaul's Drag Race pretty religiously, so I'm sure they'd really enjoy just. I mean, and when do you get to add, like, especially for Keaton, when do you get to celebrate like drag and D&D in the same go, and comic books while you're at it? That's all. That's actually I'm at least going to that party if it's safe. If it's safe.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I think the way things are going, even South Dakota is not doing too bad on the vaccinations, which is very surprising. So I think by October it'd probably be okay. But I mean, you know, that remains to be seen.
We'll all be dead of blood clots by then.
Blood clots, yeah, and autism and microchips and all that shit.
Gay frogs, gay microscopic vein frogs. Yeah, no. Remember, it's. I'm pretty sure it's gay, like nano frogs, nano gay frogs made out of microchips. Frogs.
Yeah, those are the blood clots that, you know, they get embedded in your bloodstream and bad things happen.
They feast on your insecurity.
Oh,
I have heard it gives you a better.
My frogs are probably engorged.
Mine are drunk because that's what they're buried under.
Okay. So speaking of comics, I was just going through. I have a bunch of, in like the early like to mid 90s. I was a big Sonic the Hedgehog fan, and I still kind of
chili dog era.
Yeah, those were the fucking glory days for Sonic. But as a kid, I collected the comics from Archie.
Really?
And yeah, so I've got probably like 50 of them in a box that I was just going through a few days ago, and I pulled out my very first one, which I actually have right here. Sonic gets turned into a robot, and I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it doesn't matter. I went through it, and I was kind of shocked because there's this character called Bunny, and she's like a bunny rabbit, and she's from the South, and she's an incredible racist. And I was just amazed at how they could get away with that shit. What? No, I'm laughing because the absurdity of how do you fit racism into Sonic? So like, well, it's not like explicitly racist, but like she says stuff like the South will rise again, and so.
What?
Yeah, like that's an actual line in.
Did they have a civil war in their imaginary world?
Yeah.
Was there? Holy fuck! Was Knuckles a slave driver? What is this universe?
So I was gonna get into that because like this is a different world entirely, but apparently
every world has a civil war.
Civil war happened. Yeah.
It was like just a bunch of Tails' Tails high. Tails?
Tails is
just sort of like
it's like Moose.
Yeah. Am I echoing really bad? No, just fucking coming in like helicopters, and then you've got like, oh man, you've got like Knuckles, and they're all the Red Army, and they're all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just when it all ends, Dr. Robotnik is Hitler, and everybody lost.
Well, I don't think Hitler was in the Civil War, but yeah.
Yeah, it was. Look it up.
I guess it was inevitable if, you know, the identity of America was so wrapped up in the idea of slavery that even in a world with magic talking hedgehogs, you're going to have a civil war. It's inevitable.
Yeah. Nay, you have to have a civil war. it's on every planet. We go to Mars and there's intelligent life there, like underground. They're like, yeah, well, how was your civil war? Because we've been.
Well, I mean,
planets.
Civil War is one thing, but like a Civil War that mirrored the American Civil War in such a way that a half robot bunny rabbit would say the South will rise again, and then like I think she makes a couple like specific references to people and places in in the U.S. like battlegrounds and shit, which is extra strange. But anyway,
Well, it's like
yeah,
Splash Mountain was racist. I don't know how they pulled that off.
Well, I mean, that like Brer Rabbit and that whole story, it was super. I mean, like they toned it way down for the ride. It's way more fucking racist than that.
Wait, what?
Oh no, the ride was pretty racist, dude.
The ride, well, I know that's what I'm saying. They toned it way down for the ride.
Yeah.
The actual story of like Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox and Brer Bear is way more fucking racist.
Is that what Splash Mountain is based on?
Yeah. Yep.
Blatant racism and the lamenting the loss of slaves. Yeah, yeah. Like,
Well,
what do you think Space
like-
Mountain is?
Go. I don't know.
I don't want to
Yeah,
know now.
Yeah, now we're getting an Enochian alien theory and flat rounder. Everything that's round's
yeah.
also flat.
But yeah, Splash Mountain, you go through, the little river deal, and it's the story of Brer Rabbit and his insane racist hillbilly friends who are always trying to kill him. And then you go down, once you go over the waterfall, it's down into the briar patch, so.
And it ends with half the people being like, was that fucking racist as shit? That just went by really quickly.
It's part of the thrill.
Was that a Confederate flag?
I haven't been to Disney in quite a while, but I think they've toned it down even more in the past few years.
I think they just changed like the theme completely. I think it's about like one of those bear movies.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's a lot of Nazi stuff to dodge when you're talking about anything related to Walt Disney.
I mean, yeah, he was a Nazi sympathizer.
Oh yeah, Hitler's personal tour guide on a tour of Disneyland, which is just man. I wish they had taken more photos. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. It. Wow. Yeah. It looks like I don't think it's changed, but
oh no.
So funny story. My honeymoon. I was living in Florida shortly after I got married, and my grandparents were like, "Hey, why don't you go? Like, we'll buy you, a night or two at the Disney resort for your honeymoon." I'm like, okay, sure. It's right there, and why not? And so I'm not sure if I've been back to Disney since then. That was almost 13 years ago. So I just got contacted by my aunt, and she wants me to come back down to visit whenever everything's cool to visit. And she's like, we can go to Disney again. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So I'll be able to come back and tell you if they have in fact changed Splash Mountain, if it's less racist for sure.
Will you go get just absolutely Harry Potter hammered in the bar they got there for me?
So I've been taking a break from drinking, but
never mind it.
But I think I'm gonna have to get drunk at Disney. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, right? You gotta get your Slytherin robe on, fucking roll in there.
Yeah.
The only Slytherin he's gonna do is on the cobble ground.
Pretty sure Harry Potter is Universal Studios, but you can go to the Star
Disney.
Wars land.
Disney bought it, didn't they?
I'm pretty sure that's
Isn't Harry Potter in Disney now?
Fuck. I don't know about any of these fucking IPs.
What's culture?
It's fucking Migos.
So I guess I have the opposite comic that my friend just gave me, which is the Gwar Orgasmageddon comic. Oh, the green screen's doing wonders to this.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, it's like each story in here is done by a different artist. So there's a lot of dynamic styles and fun little stories in here. Very intellectual stuff.
So what do they get? Yeah, what kind of shenanigans do they get up to?
Well, let's see. There's Jizzface versus oh yes. Yes. Well, Jizzface versus Estrogina. That's a a tale as old as time, really.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Romeo and Juliet story, if I've ever heard one.
There's
all 5 of our viewers know that as well.
multiple people in MAGA hats and Trump himself getting disemboweled in various ways. The Burger King guy getting lobotomized.
What? Mayor McCheese?
Very cool.
He's democratically elected.
Mayor McCheese is McDonald's. That's not Burger King.
Yeah. Burger King is absolutely a monarch.
Yeah.
That's like divine right shit right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so Mayor McCheese is just some psychopath. He's like the fucking the bad guy in Robin Hood.
Democratically elected mayor.
Is Mayor? Oh, so because McDonald's isn't. What would McDonald's be then?
McDonald's
is just a fucking clown.
Yeah, it's just a clown.
All right. Juggalo Army. The original Juggalo.
Yeah, right.
Ronald McDonald. It's terrifying children. I've never not been afraid of one of those statues. If I'm drunk enough, it still scares the shit out of me. Not like when I see it.
Oh
no.
yeah. I remember they used to have them they still have them in a few locations, but the benches, with
and it's just him being like, "Hey, come sit next to clown."
Yeah,
it's like I don't know. Don't teach kids to just go cozy up to clowns like that. That's just me. I take the Gacy approach to clowning. Just don't.
I don't think you want to take the Gacy approach to clowning.
Sorry, I'm watching that documentary about him where he's still claiming his innocence, and it's some of the funniest shit. Like, it's not funny what he did, but it's funny him trying to sell that he's innocent.
Sure.
But
I just want to take a quick 10 seconds and say that this drink that I'm drinking, it's called Mr. Cucumber. You guys probably can't see it very well, but it's fucking awesome. It's a cucumber flavored sparkling beverage, and I discovered this whenever I lived down in Louisiana in Lafayette, and I fell in love with it, and I haven't had it in fucking years, and then I just found out that my local grocery store up in Lead sells it, and so I was super excited. So I had to get a couple of them for my birthday.
Those look pretty good.
You bong the rest of them?
Yeah.
Cucumber bong.
Yeah. I'm not a big soda drinker at all, so I'll drink like the occasional like ginger ale or like root beer, but other than that, I'm not a big soda drinker. So
yeah, we got like one of those 10-gallon CO2 tanks and hooked it up to a sparkling water maker. That was kind of one of our quarantine projects. So I've been, just either getting those like essenced concentrates, or this is like a ginger beer concentrate, which comes in a big bottle. You just add a little bit, and it's pretty good. It's cheap.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I love sparkling water in general, so just making carbonated water like club soda type shit would be worth it for me. So maybe I'll do something like that in the future.
Oh, that would last fucking 4 days in my house. I would have carbonated every fucking weird thing in the house I could have. Is that possible? Can you just dump shit in there?
It tends to explode if it's not water, but that could be part of the fun.
Tends to.
Yeah.
So you're saying you could carbonate almond milk or something like that?
As a scientist, I would suggest you don't, but in theory, there's some things in life that are still mysteries, and for good reason. And yeah, not even getting into ethics and morality of it. You're playing God, essentially.
Yeah. If God wanted almond milk to be carbonated, it'd come out of the almond titties that way.
Exactly.
Well, so in East Asia, they do drink carbonated milk. It's a pretty popular drink over there.
Okay.
Sounds kind of gnarly.
Like, okay, hold on. Are we talking like, is it kind of like skim milk where it's just water or milk adjacent? Or like...
I've never fucking had it. I have no idea. I just know it's a very real thing that they do drink there.
Actually, that's true because my little sister backpacked Mongolia when she was like right out of high school, and they drink fermented horse milk, and that sounds stupid. That sounds just.
It sounds rough. It gets you
pretty gnarly.
What I've heard.
Yeah,
I'll just start small and add like powdered milk to my carbonated water.
There you go. Yeah. That sounds fucking revolting. It does.
Yeah, powdered milk. Just so you could like. I'm just trying to figure out. So there's like a factory out there carbonating milk. There's a guy. His job is to. I'm sorry. That's the whole industry of carbonated milk is hurting my brain right now.
Well, Coke does it. Coke has a brand called Vio that's flavored water and milk. That's carbonated.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh. That's right. I've repressed that from my memory.
What do you use that for? Is it you just drink it straight then?
You just drink it, yeah. It's not like an additive. You just pop it open and drink it.
What do you? Well, dude, throw that. I mean, you could have carbonated cereal. That could be kind of fun.
Combine that with like Captain Crunch, which cuts the roof of your mouth open, and fucking might as well just throw like Pop Rocks and Sour Patch Kids in there and some hot sauce and just, fucking start your morning off screaming.
Hey, don't come on your podcast and shit on your dreams, man.
Well, you should try it. I think that they have. Let's see. I'm gonna look and see if they have. If you can get Vio, I think that it's done. Let's see.
See, we're getting into the real issues on this.
No, we're getting into the nitty gritty.
Okay. So I can't find Vio, but you can buy this drink called Milkis or Milkis, Milkis. It's milk soda. You can get it for like $2. I think it's a South Korean thing. So we should all order some and give it a shot.
Oh, they have spiced buttermilk flavor Vio.
Oh,
do they?
What is all this used for? I'm sorry. Like, I can't see. Drink. No, bullshit. That's not all it's being. Somebody's doing something weird with this shit. Did you know I'm going to go drink a case of fucking, what is it? Buttermilk flavor? Oh.
There's some
spiced
kind of
buttermilk
happening where
buttermilk is
manufacturing carbonated milk for somebody to do something nefarious with.
Yeah, well, buttermilk doesn't taste that good straight either. So it's like all very confusing.
But it's spiced and carbonated though. That's a whole different world.
You have to wonder when the Wikipedia page for Vio has the second source as coming from an article called "The 50 Worst Inventions."
What number was it on the list? Do we know?
2. Oh, on the list. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, number 50. So it's Hitler.
Not bad. It just barely.
Yeah, it's no Hitler, the man who incited the Civil War.
Hitler wasn't an invention.
I don't know.
It was time, bro.
Yeah. So, rapidly moving on from carbonated milk. What, Thomas? You said you don't know much about movies. Do you just not watch many movies, or because like I have lots of friends who just like aren't into movies?
I literally haven't watched a movie in a year. It's just not a form of media that I ever really consume.
What about TV shows?
I do watch TV shows. Yeah, I generally need it to be a shorter format, not because my attention span is really low, but because I've just been really busy lately, and I can't often carve out like 2 hours to watch an entire movie.
What's a TV show you've been watching recently?
Well, I haven't really watched much TV shows that recently either. But I mostly, since I've been doing a lot more practice lately on my instruments, I have been watching quite a few YouTube videos about music theory and practice techniques and things like that. So kind of more on the educational side of things. Been watching ContraPoints, which are pretty long episodes, basically a TV show, and like some Red Letter Media and stuff. So I guess I've been viscerally watching movies through a very metacritical eye, without having to actually watch them myself and have my thoughts filtered through the thoughts of other people so that I don't have to do anything in myself. It's very nice.
Yeah, it seems that way. I'm a big Red Letter Media fan, and ContraPoints is pretty cool too. I haven't really kept up with that channel in a while, but I do quite enjoy it.
I watched every cult documentary ever made over quarantine, so that's what
Everyone.
no, literally everyone. Name one, I've seen it, unless it's in a language that like I can't really, you know what I mean, like I can't get like captions for it. It's the only reason I wouldn't watch it.
Sure.
But they're ridiculous. There's a lot of them.
Right on. Well, yeah. So, yeah, I think that RLM is one of my favorite YouTube channels of all time. Like, it's just like they've never gone down in quality since they started, which is like, there's no boring episode. It's all fucking hilarious to me. I love, Half in the Bag, and all of like Mr. Plinkett's reviews are fucking hilarious. I think I got introduced to Red Letter Media the same way that a lot of people did, I think, which is that one, I forget which movie it was, which Star Trek it was, but it was like from like 10 years ago or something. It was one of the Star Trek movies, and like that's how like they kind of like blew up. But yeah, ever since then I've been an avid follower of that channel. I'm not really one to follow YouTube channels. I'm not like a big YouTube guy. But
yeah, it's nice because they don't mention subscribing or have product placement or anything. They just put out hour-and-a-half long content with no real breaks, or I think there's a couple ad breaks on YouTube, but
I've heard them described as your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTube channel.
Yeah, actually, I think ContraPoints is who mentioned that.
Yeah, that's great.
Are we doing a ad? Like, is this an ad spot? Are we doing an ad? No, I'm just.
Yeah.
It's like it all just crossed. Yeah, I like Squarespace a lot. I've just been I like how easy the site is to use.
I use Squarespace actually. It is pretty good. If you enter the code Zach 420 on squarespace.com, you can get 20% off. Yeah, so anyway,
for that one.
That was actual product placement, by the way. We just wrapped it up in like so many levels of sarcasm that you thought we were joking.
Yeah.
But that code actually works.
Brought you by Colt 45.
Ooh.
So
still not smooth as they claim to be.
So what's your favorite Cannon? What's your favorite cult documentary?
Oh, I just watched the one on the Order of the Solar Temple. It's called what is it called? Cult Witness. And it's like billionaire cult that they all burn themselves alive and fucking crazy ass shit. They like basically the guy was a con man from the start, but just started buying into his own bullshit and convinced a bunch of like the guy that like a bunch of Swiss watchmakers and billionaires and millionaires and shit. So they
mentioned this last time.
God damn it, dude! Did I?
Which is awesome.
Yeah, that's another good. I also just watched another sad one recently. That's like one of those weird cults where it's like 6 people in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Like where it's like, hey, and they never want to expand. The guy's like, I'm cool with 6 weirdos in a barn. And you're like, that's all right. It's an odd life choice for me, but
he's humble.
There's no benefits of the cult, right?
Well, have you seen the barn?
What do those 6 people do? Are they like his wives?
I mean, usually, and I'm generalizing, but they all kind of have a formula. Usually, no, it's not. They go polygamous, like halfway into the cult. where they're like, "Oh yeah, and God told me I can fuck all your wives, and they have to."
So
help.
3
and
people,
like,
and he would go polygamous.
Yeah, as long as there's honestly, I know it's like 4 separate cults that did this, where it's like, "Hey, yeah, we don't preach polygamy," and then they move in the middle of nowhere, and he's like, "Actually, God said that everybody's wives are my wives, and you guys just got to play croquet or whatever weird shit." Like, yeah, there's a Synanon is another one I just found out about. It's weird from the 70s. A bunch of people started the head shave trope. You know what I mean? Like sort of. But yeah, other than that, no, I could go all day. That's right, but I'm not going to.
Cults are, well, we should have a 5-minute cult chat maybe every episode.
Cult chat. Cult chat.
Cult chat.
Out on the street doing cult chat.
I'll give you the name of the podcast, Cult Chat.
Cult chat. Yeah, right. That's with a V.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's actually yeah, that's awful. That is funny.
Yeah.
That is it's almost good. It's almost so terrible that it's good, but no, it falls flat.
Yeah, it's painful. It's the fart lingering in the room that just made its way over. No, yeah, no. Other than that, man, I watched that new Godzilla versus King Kong movie because, like, who the fuck? Why not get high and watch some monsters beat each other up?
So, speaking of Red Letter Media, I saw part of their review of that film, and I think one of the guys described it as something that was written. It was like it was written by a child.
Hell yeah!
And it was like watching a kid bash 2 toys together.
Fuck yeah, it was, dude.
I haven't watched it though. Is it good?
I mean, what are you going into if any asshole goes into Godzilla versus fucking King Kong and it's like, well, this could have been more believable or this could have been more fluid. You're like, no, we're there to watch them throw each other through buildings. There's really no substance to it. There's fucking some hilarious, dude. They go, yeah. There's some. Do you want spoilers? But they do some fucking weird.
Well, I mean, yeah, as long as, yeah. So these are spoilers coming up. You can say,
spoiler alert.
I don't think Thomas cares. I sure as shit don't care.
Yeah, good. Spoiler alert. Yeah, they go to the center of the earth and they fight dinosaurs and shit. It's fucking ridiculous.
Dude, what the fuck? I haven't seen it yet.
So there well, I mean, there was a Godzilla versus King Kong, or a King Kong versus Godzilla in, I think, the early 60s, which I remember seeing a long time ago. I used to be into the old Godzilla movies, not like super into them, but I've seen a few of them, and I was young and I was just entertained enough. Now they just seem like it. I don't know. It's just so, the new ones just seem so obscene. I tried to watch the first because are there 3 or are there 4 of like this new series?
Oh,
3? Okay.
Then there's the King Kong ones too.
Okay. Yeah, so I tried to watch one of them, like the first of the new series of Godzilla movies. I had trouble. I had a lot of trouble. It was just like, I can appreciate, like mindless destruction of cities and just, violence and, things getting thrown through buildings and all that shit. But eventually I just become numb to it. And it's like those fucking like Michael Bay Transformers films. They're obscene. I just can't do it.
It should be banned.
They should be. We should ban it. It's fucking pornography.
Did you see the Transformer that had huge balls?
Is that like an actual thing?
Is that a thing? Are you fucking with me?
No, that's an actual thing from one of the Michael Bay Transformer movies.
I think I do remember which. Yeah, well, there's like 12 of them, right? There's like fucking.
Wait, really? I only know about like 2.
No, there's like 7 or something ridiculous
paying
like that. It's like Fast and the Furious. It's just more robots. Dude, if Vin Diesel is driving one of those fucking Transformers, I'll watch that movie. But it's just Vin Diesel the person.
Okay, yeah. So I'm actually seeing this. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that I can show you guys. Oh no, it's not letting me. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, it's some kind of complicated thing to share my fucking screen. Anyway, yeah, so he does. If you just search for like Transformers with huge balls, there are some screen caps, and this Transformer does have huge balls. It's yeah.
Is
It's
it like
awful.
a furry
Fucking
community
stupid
with
shit.
Transformers though, where you're like wearing like big
Almost
boxes?
certainly. There's no way there's not, man.
Robo furry.
Yeah, maybe you'll find out at SuperCon.
I hope to God I do. God, that'd be, dude. That'd be, if that happens, dude, it's gonna cap off my weekend.
Thomas, are you a fan of any of these? You know, like just punching people through buildings, movies?
For like, not for an hour and a half. But
That's
yes,
okay.
I do get down on the mindless and senseless destruction.
These are fucking like 3-hour films now. That's like the baseline for new films. From what I've seen, they're getting
my
I'm usually
tolerance is
drinking
not
longer
that
and longer.
high.
I'm usually drinking and goofing with buddies. Oh, okay. Now I see the balls on the. Why are they? Those are just testicles on a fucking robot. And what?
It's so fucking.
And what would make you think the balls would be round and not square or octagonal? Like what? Look, nothing on that thing is smooth but his balls. It's ridiculous. That's not realistic. Sorry.
Yep.
I just saw the robot balls, and you know what? They are obscene, and they should be banned.
Yeah, ban robot balls.
Yeah.
So I just watched a movie. Fuck. I think it was last night. It's difficult because I get really stoned, and I sit here and I'll pick a random movie. It's called Executive Decision. You ever seen that?
Who's in it? I might have.
It's got Kurt Russell, who's great. It's got Halle Berry. It's got John Leguizamo, who I'm a huge fan of. Joe Morton, who's the guy from. He plays the dude in Transformers 2, who's like the guy they try to kill because he's the he like is responsible for the creation of the Terminator dudes. So anyway, it's a have you guys not seen T2?
T2?
Yeah.
Yeah. I in my head I think I might have been thinking Transformers still.
Oh, is that what I said? I might have said that.
No, you
But,
didn't. I'm just
So yeah, so it's about like there's these like Chechen rebels who steal this like Soviet poison gas, and they then hijack this plane with some senator on it, and they're gonna like drive it into fucking. They're gonna like smash it in fucking DC and like kill a bunch of people. It's like it's not like VX gas. It's like something that's like even more potent or something like that. But I realized I started watching it, and it's just all these fucking movies are the same goddamn thing. It's the bad guys are bad, and like we don't know why they're bad. They're just bad guys who just like want to kill people just because they're bad. Because because like they're not American. And then these guys hijack a plane, and they have poison gas, and they have a senator. And there's lots of shots of like the fucking Situation Room where everyone's like, "What do we do?" And it's like, we can't negotiate with terrorists. And then like they say like the name of the movie, of course, a couple times. I'm pretty sure. And then that's it. And then they get the plane back and they fucking land it, but like nothing fucking happens. It's the same. All these films are the fucking same to me. And there's like this, and like what's the one with Harrison Ford, Air Force One? It's like it's the same fucking movie.
Oh yeah, snakes on a plane. It's all the
Snakes
same
on
shit.
a plane. All those what are the ones where it's based on those? It's like the fucking Grisham novels, whatever. Like Clear.
Con Air.
Danger. Yeah, well, no, Con Air is a fucking masterpiece. But yeah, so I'm not sure if you guys know what I'm talking about, but like it's the same fucking formula for like all these goddamn movies.
Yeah, like the Olympus Has Fallen movies.
Yeah, I checked out like halfway through.
Tom Clancy. Oh, Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy. Yes. Yeah, thank you.
I came up with that by myself. Just want everybody to know that. Thank you, Thode.
Yeah, it's these weird, like, American, patriot military, like, fantasies, and it's
Well, the newer ones are actually happening more because they made it legal for the U.S. military to start funding movies with like agenda in mind. Like that happened. Olympus
they've
has
been
fallen
doing that for a long time, but
no, I know, but like in the open, something got passed where it was like,
Yeah.
fuck it, you can just openly just fuck around and like, because they're all just army commercials, all of them.
Yeah.
There's always the one shot when they're walking and it's like the pan side, like the pan across the like bulletin board. And it's just the current army slogan or whatever.
Oh yeah. It's just, and so I can't fucking I followed it up with Ninja Scroll, which is an awesome anime if you're into anime at all. That actually has a plot that's fairly unique, I just it was such a different. It was like fucking like night and day, man.
Mm-hmm.
I watched what is it called?
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List, yeah. It's no, there's this film called Pandorum, which is like
I like Pandorum, yeah.
Ben Foster.
That
film
movie rules.
It's got that dude. Ooh, I just touched that. That sucked. Ow. Sorry.
And I watched Event Horizon before that, and Event Horizon is a film that I remember being okay, and I rewatched it, and it's an awful movie. It's fucking ponderous, and nothing really happens, and it's the same fucking formula where it's a crew that goes into fucking deep space, and they like something goes, there's something on this ship, like they find a ship or like something gets into their ship, and then it's just like they get killed off, and it's in this case it's like a weird like supernatural entity from another dimension, and it's just fucking boring. It's fucking stupid. And then I watched Pandorum afterwards because one of my buddies recommended it to me, and it's not the best like deep space horror film, but again, fucking night and day. I do recommend it if you haven't seen that film.
Yeah,
and
it's a good one.
You like that kind of like deep space, like psychological and like almost like Lovecraftian sort of shit. Yeah, super fucking good. They just don't make good sci-fi. Like,
well, yeah, I think one of the reasons though is when you some of the good sci-fi movies that are like pre-VCR basically, were only intended to be watched once. You know what I mean? Nobody was ever going to go be able to, unless they saw them multiple times in the theater, like you weren't going to go ever see that movie again. So it's like, I give some of those movies a pass because they're like, hey, yeah, well, just, you know what I mean? We got the one go at it. But nowadays it's like with digital, format and shit, they can film anything they want in as many takes as they want. So there's no excuse for bad movies, but like everything's so ad generated, you know what I mean? And at this point, half the time by like actual AI computers that are like, hey, what can we sell somebody through this movie?
Well,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Bad movies exist because like people fucking buy it. Like, assholes like me, even like I don't like rent these awful movies, but like I still have Hulu and shit, and so it's like I'm paying for this subscription. Like I still watch this fucking garbage. And people will shove anything up their fucking assholes these days, and it's just getting worse and worse. We have no original ideas in fucking Hollywood, and haven't for quite some time. I'm looking forward to the Lord of the Rings remake. They're gonna do probably in the next few months, gonna get announced. I'm just
the
assuming.
Amazon show. Yeah, the Amazon's doing a Lord of the Rings show.
The show, yeah. That's just like a Middle Earth show, right? Is it like actually like the events of Lord of the Rings?
When I left the set, they didn't actually give me a full clue in on what the but I, when I get.
Who are you?
I'm sorry.
Who do you play?
Huh? I'm Aragorn's ass double.
Okay.
Yeah. Which they're gonna be pissed about the giant back tattoo I just got. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna still have that gig when this is all over.
They'll
For
fucking CG that out. You
context,
can do anything.
for context, what do you consider good sci-fi?
I'm a big fan of I would say like lots of John Carpenter. Like The Thing is my favorite film of all time, I think.
Cody's nodding. You can't see it, but he's nodding approvingly.
I love, Escape from New York. I'm a big fan of the movie The Fifth Element. That's a fucking badass sci-fi action, comedy, romance. Like that's, there's not a lot of films that I would describe as like as close to perfect as you can get, but like that film like does it so fucking well.
It's not dated either. Like, you know what I mean? It
No.
still holds up when you watch it today.
It does. I mean, fuck, I watch the movie like once a year, probably still. It's fantastic. I mean, of course, Alien is an awesome film and an okay franchise. I'm not a big fan like the later films, but yeah. What about you guys?
I mean, I like Star Wars just because, I just do. You know what I mean? I don't watch it religiously. That's more Thode's more of the huge Star Wars fan. But I really like, for sci-fi, I like the really fucked up weird ones like that one, God, now I can't even remember it. Like the one with Jude Law and Matt Dillon. Galactica, stuff like that. Where it's like alternate future shit that's just kind of weird. Or like, yeah, it's basically like he steals somebody's DNA who's paralyzed so he can go to the moon because he's in the wrong class of person to go to the moon.
Gattaca.
Gattaca, thank you.
Oh, okay. Like Battlestar Galactica. I know that.
Yeah. And then like I don't know. I like a lot of the shows, to be honest. Like I'm a big fan of The Expanse, and like I like Firefly. It's goofy, but I love it.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything that flushes out the universe.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing Josh Whedon does that I don't like him as much of his shit that he like. Cabin in the Woods is awesome, but I think he just produced that. I don't know if he directed it, but yeah, he does a really good job. And The Expanse just stole the idea, but they do it better anyway. Is they create like languages that you can immediately understand and accents that you can immediately identify as like, you know what I mean? Like part of the topography of the story. Mm-hmm. And so like, yeah, I really dig that. It's like a D&D game, I can fall into it a lot easier. That's what I don't like when I watch a movie these days. If I can't fall into it and like sort of disassociate and just focus on it, then I usually just don't finish it. I start a lot of movies, but I don't finish a lot of them.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way with TV shows. I much prefer films because I can, it's a compact like thing that I can just like watch all of and then be done with usually. But with TV shows, it's like fuck, I have to like commit to watching sometimes tens of hours of something. It's very difficult.
Well, we're all praying
like
for
Cobra
you.
Kai,
Though. Thoughts and prayers, and we're gonna, I'll get you some Gatorade, and we'll make sure that you don't get worn out watching all those movies, bud.
Thomas, do you have a preferred sci-fi genre or a movie?
I mean, not really. I just haven't seen all that many. Like my favorites are about the same as Zach, like The Thing, Alien.
Boogie Nights.
Like, Serenity and Firefly. But I haven't really seen anything more underground really than those kind of movies. So I'm not a man of culture when it comes to sci-fi movies. I do have a little more breadth for sci-fi novels. And I'm surprised that, I mean, I guess it's never going to happen now that Hollywood just rehashes existing film franchises. But, there's some really interesting and well-liked and well-known novels out there that, as far as I know, haven't been translated to their film counterparts that I think would translate really well. So that's...
Are you a Dune fan?
I enjoyed Dune. I'm not crazy about it. It was a little dense, in my opinion.
It is.
You know, I had to reread it like twice to be like, oh yeah, sweet. But you know, it's a pretty satisfying story and pretty interesting. But I don't find it all that compelling, to be honest.
Sure.
Yeah, man. If you guys ever get a chance, check out Primer. As far as sci-fi goes, it's like a really low budget, but really, just really fucking cool. Like time travel theory movie.
Sure. Well, Primer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Primer.
It's really cool. It's like basically these guys are building a time machine in like a.
It's a movie that you can actually watch multiple times because you actually get the story better the second time you see it, because you see things that are part of the story that you didn't realize were part of the story till you watch it a second time.
Oh, so it's like the opposite of Inception.
Yes. You can very much watch it multiple times and constantly be learning more about what's actually going on.
Yeah. Inception.
So,
you mean Paprika?
This is a guy. Yeah. Seriously. This guy Shane Carruth. That's the guy who did Primer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote, directed, produced, edited, and scored it.
Yep.
And then starred in it.
Yep. He was an engineer before doing that too.
Impressive.
Yeah, that's bold.
Yeah.
It's good. It's weird, but it's good.
I will check that out. Well, so I brought up Dune because I watched the Dune trailer whenever it came out a few weeks or a couple months or like whenever ago. I have no concept of time anymore, but it looked fucking awful, and I'm not looking forward to it. It looks just like fucking absolute shit. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it.
I haven't.
It's kind of lackluster in my opinion. Dune is very interesting. While I personally enjoyed David Lynch's Dune, I think that book is very difficult to translate well into a visual media.
Yeah, I agree. The
That's how I felt about
channel,
Collider with a Chance of Meatballs, dude.
The Sci-Fi Channel
just didn't do
the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries they did wasn't very good, but I still kind of enjoyed it because it's Dune. I'm just a massive Dune fan. But yeah, Lynch's Dune is, I mean, I don't know. I'm still not sure how I feel about it. I've seen it several times now, and it's fucking weird. And I don't not enjoy it, but it doesn't quite feel. It doesn't feel like Dune to me. But as Thode said, I mean, I'm not sure if anything's going to feel like Dune for me because it is a very difficult thing to translate.
Sometimes I feel like with Dune, Lynch just was like, "Yeah, we're gonna build these big grandiose sets," and then he just pocketed the money.
I don't know. That doesn't sound like a very Lynch move.
No, I'm joking. It's just he's got this. Yeah, seems like I don't know.
Slandering David Lynch.
Oh yeah, I'm not a Twin Peaks fan, so I apologize.
Seriously, you're not?
No.
Oh wow,
not my jam.
It's offensive.
I don't watch a lot of procedural crime. Well, that's not true, but.
I don't know if I'd classify Twin Peaks as a procedural crime series.
Oh, I've actually watched I've watched it halfway through. It just didn't grab me, and I think everybody wanted me to be into it so bad that when I was like, this is just
that isn't
all right.
help.
Yeah, I'm like, this is all right. I don't get it. It's not changing my life.
Is it considered a movie sin that I've never seen it and I've never planned to watch it? Is this something I should remedy? I don't know.
I haven't either.
Oh, yeah, you fucking weirdo, Zach. You're sitting over there jerking off about David Lynch.
Yep. Wow. Okay.
Nerd alert.
Yeah. Okay. I do recommend it. I think that if you're into Lynch, you will like it.
Duly noted.
Yeah. I don't. Is there? Did he did Blue Velvet?
Yes.
I like Blue Velvet. Blue Velvet's just kind of. But you know what? The thing about Lynch is you can only really. I would never go to I'm gonna watch all the David Lynch movies right in a row. It's like I don't want to feel weird physically for that long. Like all of his movies are just like
I feel weird anyway, so I'm okay.
I don't mean like
is super fucking uncomfortable in a very special way. Dennis Hopper is that I think that character Frank is one of the scariest fucking villains of all time. Like, he's truly fucking disturbing to me. Like, he scared the fuck out of me as a kid.
Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen enough. I seen he did Eraserhead too.
Yep.
Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive is another weird one. Yeah, it's good. But...
Mulholland Drive's good. Inland Empire is also really fucking good. If you have, I think that movie's like 3.5 hours long, but that is Inland Empire is the closest thing to like an actual fucking like nightmare on screen that I've ever fucking seen. It's very, very disturbing, and it's pretty fucking relentless too. It just does not stop. It's kind of you feel kind of exhausted by the end of it. So, yeah, highly recommended.
Can we take like a quick pause?
No.
No.
Well,
I'm gonna go over there for a second.
Okay, that's fine. Me and Thomas are gonna talk.
Yeah, cool. I didn't know what the fucking deal is. Just quit yelling at me. I'm just trying to hang out in Thode's bedroom.
This is my.
I'm gonna edit this. What do you take me for? So, Thomas, have you seen any Lynch at all?
No,
well,
I'm uncultured swine.
That's okay. Let's get back into music then. What else have you been listening to recently?
A lot of just, kind of more traditional heavy metal. I actually haven't really listened to any extreme metal in any serious capacity in quite some time now. I've been really digging kind of more melodic vocals and guitar harmonies and guitar solos and stuff. It's been kind of a nice break since, my entire musical background has been of the very extreme metal side.
Yeah, I mean, shit, man. I'll go through periods where I will listen to no metal for like a month or two because I fucking need that break.
Yeah, and I guess not really recently, but a big thing this past year that's been keeping me sane has been like a lot of Lewis Cole's stuff and related projects. And really that helped me get back into practicing my instrument more because he makes it look effortless and fun. So that's been a little inspiring. The music's very entertaining. Some of it's a little too silly, but kind of very refreshing. It was something very refreshing to see this year that really got me excited all over about musical stuff again.
Sure.
Yeah, what about yourself? Besides Dark Throne.
It's just my friends' music these days. So like last episode I mentioned the new Vulgarian and how fucking awesome that was. How is that doing, by the way? Are the reviews coming in still, or
no? I have like 90 CDs left out of 100.
Well, people should. I'm gonna put. I guess.
It's
in the description.
Partially our fault. Like I have just I haven't been pushing it on social media. It's been pretty defeating to try to get music, especially that kind of music where our probably our biggest thing is playing live. It's been defeating to try to just scream onto Instagram and use a bunch of hashtags that we have music out there. But that has been a thing the past couple months. Is I actually haven't listened to a whole lot of music that hasn't been stuff I've been working on with like friends or something. We've been making a lot of music and spending a lot of time listening to mixes so I can remix it better, listening to takes, actually performing stuff, practicing the click tracks, you know, doesn't leave you a lot of time to actually kick back and just listen to music just for fun.
For sure, yeah. I definitely hear you with the getting rid of music at shows. I sell probably like 80% of anything Exalted Woe at shows, and so it's been rough. Like online sales are just like we're just like never good for us, and so now it's like fucking sucks. And also, we're moving away from like CDs now. We're just doing tapes and vinyl.
Yeah,
because people don't want CDs anymore, which sucks. Because like I still love CDs, but
I'm guessing once we start playing shows, we're gonna get rid of all the CDs like within a couple months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we definitely. Yeah, I know what you mean on the just listening to mixes. You know what I mean? Like you just.
Yeah.
You just can't really like get your head away from it to like enjoy the. You know what I mean? It's hard to listen to anything else when that's just banging around your head. Like that could be better. Or tweaked.
And we have like scratches from practice that I got to go through and figure out how I want to refine my drum parts and things like that. And another big thing is not really driving around much because I'm not going to work or anything, or I'm working from home. So, that's one of the biggest times I really listen to music. And, that's gone. And so when I'm at a computer, I have access to like my mixes and stuff, which it's more easy to make a decision to not listen to external music.
Yeah, well, I really like the new Vulgarian album a lot.
Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah,
it's really good because it was like there were a few bands that I've liked for a long time that released a couple albums. I'm not going to go into it in detail, but they were just not good. And then you guys, I heard you suggested it, and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I missed that. I haven't been on social media enough. And that's awesome, dude. Fucking rules. It rips. I'm like, I'm a fan. I was before, but I'm a big fan of the record.
We started getting back together a couple months ago for practice. Most of us are vaccinated now, and we have like I'm less keen on the album now because we have like 20 minutes of material now that I think is like significantly better. So
that happens though.
You know how that feeling goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we started. I know Green Altar. We started writing this record like 2 years ago, and then pandemic hit right when we were about to start recording. And then we, since we only talk to each other and we all live within a block's range, it was pretty easy to like make sure, you know what I mean? It was so when we started practicing again, everything kind of got rewritten. You know what I mean? And just better and better. So it's like I don't know. I'm like afraid for us to write a record that doesn't take year and a half to refine, right. You know what I mean? But you can't refine them live, which is a totally other thing.
Yeah, it is nice to be able to kind of float out new ideas out there and see how the audience likes them. We definitely found out on our record that we released that one of the songs that we thought was definitely on the chopping block was a lot of people's like favorite songs, and like we know we were gonna have to use it in the live on our set list, even though that was kind of our first candidate to remove. So that's kind of interesting, what people actually like to hear. But our timing was actually the same. It sounds like the same as yours. The quarantine hit. We were supposed to go into the studio at the end of March, and that didn't happen. And we ended up going in August. Once we knew more about the virus and things like that, and we canceled our tour and everything, and canceled our plans to like release a ton of CDs and stuff like that. But no, it was I don't know. We kind of had to, since our music is kind of political and current, like contemporary issues and stuff. But I don't know if well, I do know it was not a great idea to go into the studio then and release the music at that point in time without being able to play a show, or and with so many bands doing that, taking that time off to like record stuff and do stuff, it was really hard, especially for a band with no following, to just because we went into a proper studio and everything. So it was a lot of money to release at a very inopportune time, and you know, shit happens.
Dude, I know what you mean. When we released Heavy Side of the River, the band was like, we don't need to release on 420. And I was like, it's a really stony record, you know. It's, looking back, we made all the mistakes you could possibly make. But guess who? Sleep made their comeback and released their new record on 420. So it was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Well, maybe buy our shitty stoner metal album after you buy this other legendary stoner metal band that just showed back. Yeah, it was. But no, we don't play stoner metal, so it's not a fucking problem.
Yeah, stoner metal's boring as fuck, and your music is not boring, and it's actually like doomy. It actually makes me go, eh.
Yeah, well, I always told people when they're like, it's not really stoner metal. You're like, well, there's two kinds of stoner metal. There's, hey, let's all get high and listen to Sleep and High on Fire and all that shit. I like High on Fire, but you know what I mean? And then there's, hey, I smoked too much meth and I need to smoke some weed to go to bed. Play that kind of stoner metal.
Right.
Like, oh my God, I can't sleep. Like, yep, well, you're going to need 30 bong rips and listen to Green Altar.
For sure. Yeah, I don't mind Sleep. But yeah, most stoner metal for me is exquisitely fucking boring. I love sludge though. I love stuff like Meth Drinker and like Fister and things like that.
I think sludge is a consistently good genre because in order to be sludge, it has to be dynamic. Like if it's boring and slow, it's not sludge. Like it's hard to actually write sludge, you know, because the nature of the genre is fairly interesting.
Well, sludge to me also. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Sludge to me kind of is better, mostly because it allows other influence other than just this one really basic genre. You know what I mean? Like traditional stoner metal.
Bro, have you ever heard of a pentatonic riff?
But they, like sludge is just, I don't know. It's not just fucking. No, here comes.
Yep. So
I think we just wrote a record.
I think we may have.
just repeat that for 30 minutes and
throwing some punches.
So we are past an hour 15, which is what we set as around our time limit last time. So if it's okay with you guys, we can go ahead and like wrap some things up for this episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna go cut my micro penis off.
We're not cutting that at all.
We talked about last time, like maybe doing like ending the episode with like a recommendation for like an album, or a movie or like something that we've been watching recently. So I did this last episode, but because we now have you and I happen to have a copy of it. This is the new Vulgarian. You probably can't see it very well, but it's called Human Scum, and you can get it on vulgarian.bandcamp.com. It's super fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it literally kicks the new I Hate Gods album in its dick.
It does.
I forgot they released a new album. That's all right.
Ooh, are we gonna talk about that? You know what? Let's fucking do it. It's fucking terrible. Like, it's so fucking bad.
Yeah, I've only heard a bit of it, but I was not a fan.
Yeah,
Have you heard the new Bongzilla? Because
no, is that good?
It's so fucking, dude. It's so bad.
They put that out with like a beer, didn't they?
Yeah, they've released it with a beer, and they've moved to Heavy Psych Sound Records from Relapse too, and I think that's a sign that Relapse didn't want this album. So
yeah, the whole record sounds like shit we would have put on the cutting room floor for Heavy Side.
Really?
And please, we're not putting that. We're editing that out, please, because I actually have. Actually, Cooter, I don't know. Man, I don't know.
I'm not editing shit, dude.
It just doesn't sound like them in my opinion.
It doesn't.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna have to check it out and confirm, because I have been a big Bongzilla fan. This is their first record in like what, like
16 years,
over a decade. Okay, yeah, shit. Okay, quite some time.
And I don't think it's the song structures are bad. I think like the way they wrote it, the way they do their thing, it makes sense. I think this one's actually literally recorded weird, or at least so different from their normal method that it just doesn't feel like them.
Yeah. Well, that's a real shame to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bigger shame whenever I actually do hear the record itself.
Oh, did you ever I'm saying this off the record for real.
Too bad.
Okay, if you want to leave it on, you can. Did you listen to the Little Ugly track?
Oh no. Shit, I have to. I will do that.
I'd like to
I'll
watch
look
you
up
listen to it right now if I could.
We'll do it in the after show.
Word.
All right, yeah. So that's my recommendations. Vulgarian, if I can check it out. Your recommendation, canon, is don't listen to the new I Hate God or Fongzilla.
No, I don't know, man.
Check them out. I
Fucking
mean, they're
Bootsy
worth a listen
Collins.
to.
No, yeah. Should I just every? Yeah, I don't know. Listen to that. You know what I listen to, and everybody should listen to that John Carpenter record, where it's like the forgotten themes or lost themes.
Yeah.
Check it out. It fucking rules.
That's funny. I was just listening to that last night. It is a fantastic. I think it's two albums, right? It's like part one and part two. Yeah, fucking awesome. Really fucking awesome
Yeah,
shit.
it fucking rules.
I love John Carpenter's music. Yeah, that's a good one. What about you, Thode?
I like a lot of Carpenter core bands. I'd suggest people check out Ghost or Ghost.
Oh yeah,
Ghost.
yeah.
They're pretty freaking great. I like it.
Ghosts are fucking awesome. Fuck yeah. Do they have a new one out?
I think it's pronounced Jost, but I can't.
Jost, Ghost.
You
You have to compare. We did a comparing Ghost with other bands, not this Ghost. So we should compare Ghost with Ghost one of these episodes.
Yeah, their last release was 2019. So
okay.
I can already tell you how that's gonna go. It's better than Ghost.
It's
by a long way.
Ghost is far superior to Ghost. Yeah, that's a good.
I can't believe when we have to have this question about whether Ghost is better than Ghost. It's stupid. It's just stupid.
All right, and finally, what about you, Thomas? Do you have any recommendations for viewers?
2 albums that are coming down the pipe here locally in Denver that I'm pretty excited about is the new Oryx album, Oryx, and the new Sava album, Saoga. They should be really good. Everybody involved is very talented, and they've been refining their craft over the past few years. Just for a random album you can currently listen to, not related to the local scene at all, maybe we'll just say the Hammers of Misfortune album, August Engine.
I'm gonna check that out.
Just heard it, and it's from the early thousands, kind of progressive-ish, but not wanky. They have like they close the album with like a 15-minute Doom song, so
Hell yeah. I was just wanky. I just like the adjective.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty excellent recommendations all around, I think. I will I'm gonna put this on YouTube. I'm pretty sure, so I will include some links for people to check these things out. Cool. Well, Thomas, thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure to have you come hang out with us. What do you?
And remember, all cops are bastards.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're born that way. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd love to have you back on at some point soon. That'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely.
So Cannon can talk over you. I'm just kidding.
You shut your mouth.
Cool. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in to our still unfortunately as of yet unnamed podcast. It'll be named by the time that I upload it. But yeah, we will get back together in 2 weeks?
Sure.
From now. Cool.
Wicked Dope Podcast. I nailed it.
The Wicked Dope Podcast.
Yeah, dude. Like fucking pink whatever.
We'll see. All right.
Pink whatever.
Pink Mountain Dew Podcast.
All right. We will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Yep.
Stay fresh. I don't know.